Doom Vivamus Vivamus Epicureans. This is the BCE Comics Pod one-shot edition. I'm your host, Nick Smith, and I'm joined by...
Stojr from Stojr Shelf. How's it going, Nick?
I'm doing well, particularly since we are participating in Kurtis Findlay's Epic Marvel Podcast Reading Club, and this one-shot is going to be our brief thoughts on today's issue, which is Uncanny X-Men number 188, Legacy of the Lost. Alright, so the X-Men wrap up the battle in Dallas with the aid of their magic users, Amanda Sefton and Illyana. Oh, here's the one where Amanda comes in, not last issue. Alright, anyway. Upon returning to New York, Nightcrawler confronts Xavier about whether there is a purpose to the X-Men after what just happened to Storm, during which he reveals to Rachel that Jean Grey is dead, and this unleashed Rachel to reveal the future, because Jean Grey is Rachel's mother, and thus she also reveals the importance of the X-Men, and Nightcrawler is thus reminded of the wise words he learned from his Uncle Ben, that with great power there must also come great responsibility. Meanwhile, Lee Forrester saves Magneto from a shark, and some dude on the docks gets a new piece of sinister bling, which I don't know if that goes anywhere. Anyway, Stojr, what are your thoughts?
Oh, that absolutely goes somewhere, but not until the next volume.
Okay.
Not till the next epic. You will, if you enjoy Conan, you will enjoy some of the things that are in the gift. I don't. Do you remember? Do you know what's coming up with the Cool Goth?
With what?
Cool and Goth. I think that's how you say it.
Oh, maybe. It's been a long. I've been saying it's been a long time since I've read these things, so I'll be in for a treat, I guess.
They're setting something up for the next couple issues. So we'll get there. We'll get there soon enough. But it's not till the next volume because we got the Kitty Pryde and Wolverine miniseries in here. I really like the cover. I think it's interesting. It's different. I like it a lot better than the last cover. It's more detailed. With some of the things, but still sort of simplistic with the inversion of the colors and things like that. Kind of plays off what happens towards the end of the issue. I like that we see Amanda, participating and doing something. Like she's just been kind of off on the side, and we haven't really, seen her, involved in any of the battles for the most part. Maybe in that annual she was, but other than that, it's good to see her use some of her powers. And we're skipping New Mutants, so it's kind of cool to see Illyana starting to power up, right? She's teleporting in, she's got her sword, she's got that little disc thing she kind of hovers on. This is looking like the Illyana that we know today. Also like that, Colossus has some fear here of these dire wraiths. Like they could burrow in and kill him just as easily as anybody else. And I don't know if Colossus is making appearances in New Mutants, but this might be, some of the few times that we see him and Illyana interact. And Illyana, I keep saying her name wrong because it's buried in my head that way.
I'm going to blame it on the cartoon show. I think the cartoon show called her that way.
Is that it? Did they say it incorrectly there?
I'm not certain. I'm going to make it up to make myself sound smart.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Lee Forrester thing is interesting, but I also have no idea why Magneto's in the water. I guess he lands here from Secret Wars, but that was a while ago.
I was gonna say the last time we saw him was God Loves Man Kills, but you're right, Secret Wars. He would have had to come back somehow from that.
Yeah, and I don't know how in continuity God Loves Man Kills is, right? That's kind of a story that could happen at any time. So I don't know if it did happen when it was, sort of in the continuity of when it was printed. But I guess I was scratching my head. Does Lee Forrester know Magneto?
Yes.
Did they interact?
Yeah. Because remember when Lee Forrester and Cyclops get washed up on that abandoned island.
That's right. They're on the island together, and they wear this goofy Atlantean outfits or something like that. That's
Magneto was there, so yeah, she knows him.
So, and then I like the dialogue at the end of the issue. I feel like it gets wrapped up a little bit too easily. Nightcrawler. I think Nightcrawler has some strong objections and some strong arguments, and I feel like there's a little bit of that gets washed away too quickly. So I have I'm not crazy about that, the reconciliation part, but I do like him challenging things. Calling out all of these people that died, things like that. And I guess if you have a futuristic child of the person that died, that's not the smallest thing in the world to change your mind. But I'm kind of skipping past that a little bit. But so I do like the sort of the soap opera or the dialogue here of him challenging things. And going forward here. But even if it is a little, we're just going to steal from Spider-Man to wrap it up. It feels like a little Martha Kent or a little Martha Wayne to wrap things up. Have you seen the Superman movies? Do you know what I'm talking about there?
Okay, I saw the most recent Superman movie. I saw the original ones, but it's been a long time, except for the first one, because I got my wife to watch the first one with me maybe a year ago, and she was not impressed enough to be convinced to continue watching them. So,
so the reference there is there was the Zack Snyder DC Universe movies.
I don't think
There was it was Man of Steel. There was a Justice League movie. There was a Dawn of Justice movie, which is basically like a team up movie. In the Dawn of Justice movie, where Batman and Superman are fighting, Superman name drops his mom. His name, you got to save Martha, and then Batman like stops fighting him, and he's like, my mom's name's Martha. So like the joke is that like all you have to do is say your name's Martha, and like Batman will stop beating on you or something like that. It was a very corny thing. Yeah.
Is that actually continuity in DC that both of their mothers are named Martha? I don't know if I know Batman's mother's name.
Yeah, I think it is. I think they're comic accurate.
Okay.
And the idea, I mean, the justification was that like, Batman was seeing him as a true alien, and then the sort of like, realization that he has a mother and it's the same name as my mom, that like, oh wait, maybe he's more of a person than I really gave him credit for. But it was just such a heel turn at that point in the movie. It came out kind of corny. And I feel like the great power, the great responsibility line, or at least the Rachel pleading her case here, kind of changed Nightcrawler's mind a little bit too quickly, because I think he had a really good argument. So anyway, that's my point there.
Agreed. One thing that just kind of occurred to me that I kept meaning to bring up, but having turned to this page on the comic viewer reminds me, I'm going to zoom in on page 321 to Professor Xavier. I'm sorry, I like JR's art, but I am sick of seeing how he draws tears. He has so many people crying, and it looks terrible. So, not a fan of that. Not that I'm one to judge. I'm not an artist. I can't do these things.
That's not my favorite panel. Yeah. Go ahead. What are your thoughts on the issue?
Honestly, I felt like this issue was a bit of a mess to start with. The battle in Dallas was confusing, but I think I worked it out that the Dire Wraiths were just using magic again to make the X-Men think that they were fighting something bigger. But I have no idea what was happening with Naze, right? He went up to this top of the tower for some reason to commune with a god or something like that, but we don't get anything more than that.
It's magic, man. That's why I hate magic in these books.
Well, but I mean, it could be explained. What is he trying to do? Even if it doesn't happen because the magic god comes down and says, no, you're not worthy, or whatever the case may be. What is his motivation? What is he trying to do? I completely missed that. And of course, we're missing the context of the Magic mini-series. So, unless I guess you're doing the bonus reading, I'm assuming that's a part of it, but I have not been. I only have so many hours in the day.
I don't think you're missing anything from the Magic miniseries. You're missing it because of Magic's in New Mutants.
Yeah.
So you're missing just like her developing throughout the second volume of New Mutants. Because the Magic miniseries pretty much just explains what happened to her in that other dimension with Belasco. That's it.
Right. But now, this is not jarring to me because I already know what happens to her, but if I were reading this anew, and Ileana showing up as a sorceress wielding a magic sword, that could be a bit confusing. Now, we did see her with a magic sword once in Uncanny X-Men, but, it was not explained. It was just like, oh, what's happened here? What's going on there? But we're getting that context in other books, so the rest I thought was fine. Hey, look, I actually do have in my notes, I'm getting sick of JR drawing crying people at this stage. So look at that. I intended to say that in this one. Yeah, those are my thoughts.
Okay.
Stojr,
Yeah, and it's funny. I actually know of Naze from like later X Factor. So, when Forge is leading X Factor, kind of after X Factor 100. Again, going back to like, this is sort of seeing the origin of some characters that I knew them much later. It's kind of interesting.
So does he come back from the dead then? Is that because he seems pretty dead in this one?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's a spirit here. Like, there's a bunch of magic mumbo jumbo things that are going on right here. So I don't really know. And I haven't read this in 20 years. So I'll have to. We'll save that for our X Factor read through.
Oh, I look forward to that. Was X Factor 2 one of the volumes that was just recently announced?
Yeah, volume 2. Yeah, not X Factor Epic Collection number 2, yes. Not X Factor Volume 2. So that's what threw me off. I was like, wait, did they announce a modern connection?
Yeah, Epic Collection Volume 2. Okay, yeah, I'm looking forward to more X Factor being filled in. So that's cool. We'll talk about. I'm sure we're going to talk about those new announcements next time we have a fanfare episode. So whenever that comes out, check the YouTube page. We'll have the schedule there. All right. Any other final thoughts, Stojr?
Looking forward to the next issue, but we will have to wait for the next volume because we're going to get into 6 issues of Kitty Pryde and Wolverine, and we only get to visit the X-Men a little tiny bit with a Marvel fanfare. I don't want to call it an issue. It's almost like half of an issue. So
yeah, it's a story. It's one of the stories in there. All right. Well, if you guys enjoy our thoughts, again, follow us on YouTube. We're going to read, rate, and review a full Big Collected edition once a month, plus these daily one-shots. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.